What is up, ladies and genitals? Four Eyes in here, coming at you, coming through with an updated tier list on the best submachine guns in Black Ops Cold War. I will be ranking them from worst to best. Usually when I make a tier list video for submachine guns, I go by how good they are for close range, but in this video I will be mixing it up and I will be ranking them on how they perform overall, and at the end I will tell you how they perform at close range. So stick around till the end or skip all the way through so you know what the best SMGs are in Black Ops Cold War. Starting off the list, in our number 9 spot is the PPSH-41. This prehistoric SMG returns from COD World War II and Call of Duty World at War, where it was one of the top SMGs in the game. However, here in Cold War it is a completely different story. It shares the same fire rate as the FFAR-1 and MG82. In fact, it actually has the same exact time to kill as the FAMAS. Compared to all of the SMGs in the game, the PPSH-41 has the slowest time to kill and is beaten out by a good number of the assault rifles up close like the AK-47, Groza, Farah, and even the C58. The weapon doesn't even have anything to redeem itself like a high bullet velocity. Overall, the PPSH is just not that great of a SMG. If you want to use it for nostalgic purposes, definitely go right on ahead, but in terms of it being a competitive top meta SMG, the PPSH-41 is just not it. Moving on to our number 8 spot, I have the Milano. It did receive a large number of buffs in previous seasons, improving the weapon little by little. However, the Milano is still nowhere near the top SMGs. I remember people overreacting on how OP the Milano was after the buffs. It got to a point where Envoy, a professional player for Optic, whipped it out for a few matches until people started tweeting that the Milano wasn't it and that he was throwing. Milano cookies from Pepperidge Farms are fire though. Even though the Milano has a slow time to kill up close, it does have low recoil, the smallest hipfire spread, fastest sprinting move speed, fastest ADS, and the highest single bullet damage for a SMG in the entire class. When using it in game, it feels like a great gun, but statistically it's one of the worst. The gun reminds me a lot of the Krig, where statistically the weapon isn't that great, but its low recoil and ease of use make it easy to maximize the gun's potential. In our number 7 spot, we have the Bullfrog. It has the highest magazine size in the submachine gun class with 50 as its base and 85 when you equip the highest available magazine attachment. The Bullfrog also has the longest effective damage range in the category at 20 meters. The major problem that holds back the Bullfrog is it has the second slowest time to kill out of all the submachine guns. I guess another knock could be it has a low bullet velocity compared to the top SMGs. However, the large magazine size turns the Bullfrog into a mobile light machine gun, making it one of the most enjoyable weapons to use. The gun also has low recoil mixed in with that long effective damage range, and the Bullfrog does surprisingly well. It's one of my favorite submachine guns to just go out and pub stomp with, so don't overlook the Bullfrog. Moving on to our number 6 spot is the new submachine gun released in Season 4, which is the OTS-9. This submachine gun shares an identical time to kill with the MP5, however it has a slightly longer effective damage range, higher bullet velocity. But the one thing that really hurts the OTS-9 is its extremely small magazine size. In its base form, it only has 20 bullets, and when you equip the magazine attachment with the most bullets, it can only go up to 40 rounds. That is the weakness of the OTS-9, and it's actually quite noticeable when you are running into multiple people or you're just missing shots. This gun is so unforgiving, but the fast time to kill up close mixed in with that long effective damage range and low recoil makes this an underrated submachine gun in my opinion. The gun also has clean iron sights. If you can get over the fact that this gun has a small magazine, you will see how good the OTS-9 truly is. Next, in our number 5 spot, it should be no surprise, it is the MP5. Honestly, you can interchange the MP5 and OTS-9 since they are pretty much identical. The reason why I give the edge to the MP5 is because it's a more complete weapon. It still has that quick and solid time to kill up close without any drawbacks like a small magazine size. Nothing has really changed with the MP5 ever since it's been nerfed during the release of the game. It used to be able to compete with the top SMGs in the game, however new releases and weapon tuning has skyrocketed its competition. Overall, the MP5 is a solid weapon and should not be overlooked. If you are getting destroyed or you are destroying people with this gun, don't be surprised, it's a really good weapon. The top submachine guns just have a bit better stats, pushing them over the MP5. Moving on to our number 4 spot is the MAC-10. The MAC-10 has the fastest rate of fire in the submachine gun class, which is over 1000. It's the only gun with a fire rate this high, giving it the highest fire rate in the entire game. Its two major weaknesses is it has a lot of recoil compared to the other submachine guns on this list, and its bullet velocity is lacking. Even though it has a good amount of recoil, it's mostly vertical, but one of the weapon tuning patches did add a bit more horizontal recoil, so I recommend attachments to mitigate this. The MAC-10 has a extremely competitive time to kill up close, and in the minimum effective damage ranges, it actually has the fastest time to kill out of all of the submachine guns because of its high fire rate. The gun is a high skill, high reward weapon, so it takes a lot of the player's focus when controlling the weapon, unless you decide to equip a 5 megawatt laser and hip fire with it. This gun is not like the Milano where it's easy to get the most out of the weapon. In my opinion, the MAC-10 is the hardest submachine gun to use. If you can master and control this mini beast, you will reap the rewards of the MAC-10's potential. Breaking into our number 3 spot is the KSP. It is the only burst submachine gun in the game so far. A little spoiler alert, like I said during the beginning of the video, that I would also be ranking the SMGs on which are the best up close, and the KSP is the number 1 king for close range engagements. If you land all 3 bullets of the burst up close, it is pretty much an insta kill. Your enemies can shoot you first and you could still end up winning the gunfight. Surprisingly enough, this gun was always very good, but weapon tuning patches actually made this weapon better. They reduced the gun's burst delay and even increased its bullet velocity, which didn't make sense to me since this gun was already very good. It's kinda like when Treyarch buffed the AK-47's bullet velocity and made it overtuned. The KSP is very good, and if most of your gunfights are up close where you should be using an SMG, then this is the best SMG in the game for that purpose. It's even solid at medium to long range after the burst delay buff. I don't know how this weapon isn't banned in league play because it's a overpowered weapon. In our number 2 spot, I have the AK-74U. The gun would have been first if it didn't get nerfed. What happened was the AK-74U used to have the highest bullet velocity value of 500 meters per second in the submachine gun class. Then they tuned it down to 383, which is still the second highest in the category. They also tweaked the gun's recoil. These nerfs were very noticeable, but the gun is still amazing. It has the fastest time to kill up close out of all the fully auto submachine guns. It's only beaten by the KSP. The effective damage range of this extremely fast time to kill is only up to 7 meters, so it's not really too far of a distance. And because of its high bullet velocity, it's one of the best SMGs to just beam people across the map. Every time I play league play, I am surprised on how far I have been getting beamed by an enemy 74U. I always think like, wow, I just got cross-mapped by a submachine gun. Really? Depending on the map size, I will actually choose the AK-74U over the number 1 ranked submachine gun because on how fast the time to kill is up close. Finally, in our number 1 spot, it is none other than the LC-10. As an overall submachine gun, I think it's the best. It has the highest bullet velocity in the submachine gun class at 410 meters per second. Combine that with arguably the lowest recoil in the class and you have a pocket Krig 6 that can strafe. This thing is an absolute monster, so much so that this gun is restricted in league play. It's no longer available to use. Up close, the time to kill is middle of the pack. It kills faster than the PPS-H, Bullfrog, and Milano, and is just behind the OTS-9 and MP5. The time to kill is actually identical to the Farah 83 in both its maximum and minimum effective damage ranges. Just because it doesn't have the fastest time to kill up close, don't overlook the LC-10's potential to absolutely laser enemies from across the map. Yeah, that is it for the overall tier list. Up close, this is what the tier list looks like from the fastest time to kill to the slowest. In first, which is no surprise, is the KSP. Second, we have the AK-74U. Third, we have the MAC-10. 4th and 5th place have the same time to kill, but the OTS-9 has a longer effective damage range, so it kills faster at a longer distance. That is why I place it above the MP5. 6th, we have the LC-10. 7th, the Milano. 8th, Bullfrog. And 9th, we have the PPS-H41. That is how I would rank the SMG so far. I know there is news about a potentially new SMG being added, which is the Tech 9s. It's not official that the Tech 9 is a SMG since it could be a machine pistol because it has been leaked to be able to be akimboed or dual wield. But yeah, that is it for the video. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comment section below. Other than that, namaste my friends, and I will talk to you all next time.